all of this fro in the shot. Hi Sweetie Pies, welcome back to my channel. For all my new subscribers, hey, I am Pie. To all my current subscribers, thank you so much for your continuous support. I really do appreciate it. Now let's get into this video. First of all, let's give this video a thumbs up for this hair. Like, I was not expecting this hair today. This hair is just growing 2 years. But yeah, thumbs up for this hair. Like, look at it. See from the title of this video, it was one of the most tragic situations that has happened in my life thus far. I'm perspiring right now because it took me a while to even get up the courage to record it. But I feel like it's needed, not only for myself, but also for that someone that may or may not have went through my exact experience, but something similar. This is a real story. I don't talk about it, so bear with me. I had just turned 16 a few months prior to me finding out that I was pregnant. I had lost one of the most important people in my life at the time. I was scared, I was nervous, but something in me, the God in me, made everything all right and said, you can do this. I'm not sure if a lot of women or young women experience the same feeling, but it was the most beautiful feeling that I've ever felt in my life, and I've never felt that feeling again. And that's holding a life within a life. I remember every experience that I had when I was pregnant. When I decided to tell my family members around 3 months pregnant, it wasn't cool because I was a teenager. I was 16 years old. However, I knew that I was a woman at that time in my life, if that makes any sense. At the time, I was in a relationship with my child's father, and it was frowned upon, and I felt completely alone up until the moment that I knew I was going to be a mom. Okay, so I wasn't alone anymore. I talked to my baby. I went and got a job, oh my gosh, at a popular food chain. And I couldn't hold any food down at all. Couldn't hold any food down, especially fast food. My diet was strictly apples, applesauce, and at the time I started to eat meat again, so I was eating turkey. So I had turkey or chicken cold cut sandwiches, and that was basically all I can eat. So I had lost a tremendous amount of weight. However, the baby was healthy. I'm going to flash forward to the night that my baby was kicked out of my stomach. I had dropped out of high school because I lost the most important person in my life at the time. That was the excuse. However, I've never been the type of person to listen. That was for everybody else, not for me. But anyway, I went back to school because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be a mom. I need to get a job. I need to, save all of my money for my baby. I was just so enveloped in the whole situation. I was happy at the most tragic time of my life. I never asked for what happened directly, but we have to be careful what we tolerate and what we ask for in our actions. I was a baby myself. I was a baby having a baby. Just a normal day, me going to work and school. I walked to work and school due to me not having a car at the time. I was a minor. So I went to work and I got off, and I was just so like drained and hungry that day. I went over to my cousin's house. Shout out to you. If you're watching, you know who you are. I went to her house and I would spend time with her, and because I didn't really have anybody in my day-to-day life at that time. My child's father did not want me at that time. That didn't stop me though. So I didn't want to go home that night. She was cooking. Oh my gosh, it was the best meal of my life because I actually held it down, and I believe I went on ahead and ate steak. Oh my gosh. I'm not a meat eater, so I feel weird saying it. That's why I'm laughing at myself. Okay, so I had some steak. I call it the Last Supper because that was the last day that my life changed forever. She wanted me to stay over that night, but I was like, oh no, I have to work in the morning or go to school, whichever one it was. And I just wanted to be in my bed and just relax. All the women out there that have been pregnant, you know how it is when you are tired when you're pregnant. It's kind of like somebody just like knocks you out type sleep, like just knockout. So yeah, I'm sorry if I'm rambling, but I'm trying to give you as much details as I can without going too much into it. Went up into the apartment and said my goodbyes in the front window, let her know that I was okay, and took a bath and laid down. I felt somebody standing over me in my sleep. I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys, but it's exactly what happened. I felt somebody standing over me. So let me rewind. It was at night when I got dropped off. I knew that someone had been in my apartment, and I knew that they would be back if they were in town. So I just went on ahead and went to sleep. So that person did come back, and I let that person in, and I went right back upstairs and went to sleep. And I'm talking about knocked out. Like literally, I woke up, opened the door, went back to sleep. As soon as my head hit the pillow, I was done. In that moment, or moments, I don't know, I was asleep, so I can't measure time. Just go here with me and close your eyes and put your hand over your face. Yes, you know it's your hand, but you can kind of still see or feel the presence of your hand by the light variations or just the presence. I don't know how to explain it. So I opened my eyes and there she was, standing over me. I jumped in my body, but I didn't let her know how scared I was. I don't know if you guys ever felt or had somebody standing over you. It's kind of like a scary movie where you're asleep and someone's just standing over you about to kill you or something like that. That's exactly what happened that night. So I jumped up and said, "What are you doing here? Why are you in my house?" So then I hear banging on the door. "Let me in, let me in." And I'm like, "What? I just let you in. How did you get back out of the house?" So he was let in. And I'm like, "What is she doing here?" What is going on? Why is this happening? I was told from her, or it was said from her, "You come to my house. Why can't I come to yours?" And my world was crushing and crumbling right before my eyes because I was carrying this man's child. He didn't want me. He didn't want me or my child. And I knew it. And that's why every day I was getting up, going to school, and work for my baby. I talked to my baby every night, and I wrote a journal to him every night. I would say to him, "If you're a girl, kick one time. If you're a boy, kick twice." Guess how many times he kicked me? Twice. And that confirmed that he was my baby boy. And I loved him. And I would tell him every day, I loved him. I did. So, as she's saying this, "You come to my house." And I know this man didn't want me. And I was carrying his child. It's funny how people say, "I love you so much. I want you. You mean so much to me," but their actions are completely and utterly different. I've picked up some of that along the way of life. I'm shedding it now. That night, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. My cousin had already dropped me off around maybe 10 or 11 o'clock that night. So I had a few hours of sleep. So throughout all the excitement of her saying, and excuse me if I'm jumping all around because I go in and then I have to pull myself out, and I'm in and out of this story because it's extremely hard, especially on this platform. I don't even speak to people in my life, on a day-to-day basis on how I feel about this. So please bear with me. My life was crumbling in my face. So now it's me, my baby, my belly, this man and her. She's starting to get crazy and crazy because he's denying being over there. I'm asking, "Oh, so you over there," and this and that. But before I could grasp everything that was going on, time slowed was behind him, she was in front of him, talking all of this. And I'm like, no, and this and that. And I'm just like, I'm so tired because this girl had been talking so much stuff. And I didn't even care about her. I wanted what I wanted. I did what I did. It was what it was. I didn't care. The other woman, or the woman scorned, or the woman that gets left and stuff like that, never understands that. 9 times out of 10, the new chick or the side chick or whoever, the new baby mom or whatever, 9 times out of 10 doesn't care. And if she's super young, whatever, she's still gonna be with him or still do whatever. I mean, that's just my opinion. Leave all yours in the comments down below if you have something to say. So at that moment, that time slowed down and all this was going on. I felt the kick. And in that moment, I knew that I lost my baby. I immediately panicked and started to react to what just had happened. I held my stomach. In a split second, my stomach was tight as a football. Like it was, like he was dying. The ambulance was called. I waited for them. They took too long. So I drove to the hospital. I immediately started having contractions and I felt the baby's head coming down. I was starting to wobble like a penguin. But when I got to the hospital, she was already there, waiting, pleading, saying that she didn't mean to do it. She didn't mean to do it. She didn't mean to do it. I'm getting checked into the hospital. I told them my story. They immediately checked me in and gave me a observation room or something like that. So the nurses came in and I said, hold on, I need to go to the bathroom. I felt pressure. Never felt this kind of pain in my life. I went to the bathroom. It was blood in my urine. And anybody knows if you have any blood where it's not supposed to be, something is wrong. I felt it. I knew something was wrong. Mind you, it's 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So in this particular hospital, known for its unprofessionalism, inaccuracy, and not working in a timely manner, I had a doctor that was asleep, still had coal in his eye when he was checking me out. He did a test, and you know when you they stick their fingers in there and everything to check and see if your cervix is okay or if you're dilated, things like that. That was the worst pain that I felt in my life when he put his hands inside to feel how my baby was doing. My baby's head, I was 7 months and 3 weeks. I was almost 8 months pregnant. So I just went to my 7th month checkup. My baby's head was up here and feet down. By the time I checked into the hospital, at the time that the doctor came, My baby had flipped all the way around, ready to come out, and wanted to come out. They still made me wait. So, after that, they admitted me into the hospital. I went into the room that I was going to be in. They already had me hooked up to the baby monitor, and I heard my baby's heart. When I went to the room for the 24-hour observation, they tried to hook me up in that room. They could not find his heartbeat. I had one nurse in the room, and she left out. And then there were 6 people, nurses and doctors, that came in the room, rushing in there. Freaked me out. I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I don't know what's going on. Please tell me what's going on. My baby's heart rate was disappearing. Very faint. 5 minutes. I'm being rushed to the operation room. I was 16 years old. Alone. A baby having a baby. Everything was okay that day. And as I was on the bed, they handed me papers to sign. I didn't know what I was signing. Probably my life and my baby's life away. So I went into surgery, and I woke up. My stomach was flat as a board. I immediately called out, "Where's my baby? Where's my baby?" All I wanted was my baby. They took him. I was drugged up, drowsy, all of that. They had bundled my baby up, put him in an incubator, and brought him by not even an hour after surgery for me to see him. I couldn't even touch my baby. They took him away from me. They took him to another hospital. They put me in the maternity ward with other women who were giving birth or already had given birth. I'm hearing babies crying, laughing, mothers laughing, families full of joy. I'm in the room by myself. You know who my visitors were? Detectives. Detectives asking me questions of what happened and how my baby was kicked out of my stomach. That's what I was doing in the maternity ward. I had to stay there for 5 days because I had a cesarean. I was alone. I got a phone call in my room. And I'm like, who's calling me? No one even knows that I'm here in the hospital. No one knows that, I just had my baby. No one knows this. So who's calling me? It was the doctor from where my baby was taken. My baby wasn't even in the same hospital. My baby was taken away from me, taken out of my body, snatched from me. It was the worst call of my life. He asked me my name. I told him, "This is me. We have your son here with us." And that's how I found out I had a baby boy. When they took him away from me. But your son has passed away. Your son is dead. No, I'm not gonna cry. But yeah, your son is dead. I didn't know what to do at that moment. I didn't know how to react. I just hung up the phone. I said okay, and I hung up the phone. I said okay, and I hung up the phone. Got back in the bed and just laid there while the detectives are asking me questions as if I did something wrong. Life is crazy. Life is crazy. The woman who killed my son